of anything greater. Now look here, how does this relate back to the one? You see, it's through this experience that we're now calling intelligence. It's through this experience that we're calling intelligence. It's through this that one now must reach for the nature of the one. That's not ultimate. That's an ultimate experience, but it's not an ultimate state. Now, an experience, just to make clear about that, an experience has a beginning, it has a content, whatever it is, and it terminates. That's an experience. Whatever it is, if it has a beginning, has a content, has a termination, that's an experience. And if you can then reflect upon it as different than what came before and after, that's an experience. Therefore, this is the highest kind of experience open to man.
The reflection is an experience, or if you can reflect on it, then you can see it. Okay.
That's right, the latter. If you can, yeah. Now, here's the tension. In the game of philosophy, this curious game of philosophy, people who reach this point don't go any further. They say, that's it. And it is it. It's great. But it's not this. Why isn't it the one? Because you can make these distinctions within it. Just as we did, remember? We said, by heavens, it has more existence, more kind of existence, higher, more profound existence than anything I know that exists. Oh, being. Yeah, being. Hey, like mine, like my intelligence? Yeah, like your intelligence, another distinction. Hey, does it have vitality? Yeah. That's 3-in-1 oil, isn't it? Then that ain't no one. If it's a pure one, it can't be a unity. Therefore, this is a oneness. This is a unity, but it's not the one. By the way, when this occurs sometimes to people, it's extremely disillusioning. And rightfully, would you not agree? I mean, you get in one of these experiences, and someone comes up to you and says, was that pretty good? Oh, yeah. Have a beginning and end? Yeah. Able to make these distinctions? Yeah. I guess it's a unity. Yeah. Well, it's not the one, is it? Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, there's something higher than this? How can there be anything higher than something that's the highest, most perfect experience? That's not an experience. Got to go beyond that. Go beyond it? I had to work so hard to get there. You got to go beyond? This is unfair. And so they file a complaint in the Philosophers Club. And now we go back to a statement about the nature of the one. All right, now this is a quote from Plotinus. The one is absent from nothing and from everything. It is present only to those who are prepared for it and are able to receive it, to enter into harmony with it, to grasp and to touch it by virtue of their likeness to it, by virtue of that inner power, similar to and stemming from the one, when it is in that state in which it was when it originated from the one. Look here, the one therefore is present. It's not absent from anything. It's present to everything, and yet it's not in another sense. It's present, however, it's present only to those who are prepared for it. Uh-oh. That raises a question, and how are you prepared for it? Able to receive it, enter into the harmony with it, to grasp and to touch it by virtue of their likeness to it. Wait a minute, what does that mean? Means then that there's a new kind of yoga that we have to reach for. What is it? It's present only to those who are prepared for it. Okay, how do you do that? And if you're prepared for it, I presume then you should be able to receive it. It's either the same or different. Let's consider it different for the moment. That'll give us more numbers and that'll look more profound. Right? It's present only to those who are able to enter into harmony with it. To grasp and to touch it by virtue of their likeness to it. So they have to be able to enter into harmony with it, to grasp and to touch it by virtue of their... Wait a minute, that means you have to become like the one. And by virtue of that inner power similar to and stemming from the one, it's in that state in which it was when it originated from the one. All right, now look here, 1, 2, 3, 4. The method, this is really what's great about philosophy. It's cheap. Right? It's cheap. It's cheap and it's simple. And that's what makes it interesting. The way Plotinus proceeds is to say just one thing. Likeness. You become like the one, then it'll take care of itself. Then, hey, then you're prepared for it. Then you're able to receive it. Then you'll enter into harmony with it. And you'll grasp and touch it by that virtue of that very likeness. Therefore, the whole problem of a yoga here is simply to become like it through likeness. The principal idea of all Hellenic philosophy. One word, likeness. In the creation of the universe, I should remind you that Plato in the Timaeus says that the Demiurgos had the idea of the entire creation in mind. And the idea that he had, which is creating and used as a model for the entire creation, was himself. Wait a minute then. And the whole creation is nothing other than a creation which stands as a model to a copy, and therefore the universe must in some respect be like himself. Oh, well that means then the supreme originating principle of the entire universe, the cosmos and all, is likeness. That's the supreme originating principle, likeness. So here, in the philosophical pursuit of trying to reach the nature of an ultimate reality, hey, it comes back. That's the principle. Well then, how do you become like the one? New quest. Now we have to be pretty sure what we mean by this one, if we are now being urged to be like it. That's right. Whole new quest. And this is a rather interesting phase. And it's going to deal with this little statement we wrote over there. It says, look, everyone is a one. Everything is a one. It may be then that if you are sufficiently this thing called the one, that it will be over, and you'll gain exactly what it is, or you won't. I always like that. You'll either get it or you won't. And that's what he does. He says, okay, look here. If you become like it, you gain it. If not, not. Now, what do you do if you don't gain it? And thank goodness he has a way of going. He says, all right, then you have to go back. You have to go back. You have to study the nature of the soul.